Bon après-midi et bienvenue à tout le monde. Quelle belle saison de l'année, l'approche de Noël. Aujourd'hui, les mémoires vont nous transporter dans le passé. December's gifts of custom and celebration are not wrapped in paper and ribbon, but in memories which transport us into the past. La musique est une grande partie de notre famille, notre vie en famille. On chantait souvent avec les enfants. Our nearly daily sing-songs were a vital part of our family life, and both Reg and I found it a natural way to spend time together with the children. Pour longtemps, on ne chantait que des chansons anglaises, parce que c'est tout ce qu'on savait. There was a time when we sang mostly English, but that's all we knew. Over the years, the family, through travel and various contacts with many, they went from singing in other languages to composing their own songs. And this afternoon, we'd like to give you a smattering of all of this. Most of our memories have already been told, so we hope you will be patient. And we hope that there'll be a few new things for you to hear. C'était les préparations de Noël. C'était le temps. On avait la couronne et le chant approprié pour les enfants. Que j'aimais décorer la maison et bien sûr faire les mets traditionnels. Donc, on commence en pensant à la saison des avants.
Venez divin Messie, nous rendre espoir et nous sauver. Vous êtes notre vie. Venez, venez, venez. Ô Fils de Dieu, ne tardez pas par votre corps, donnez la joie à notre monde. Redites-nous encore de quel amour vous nous aimez, quand l'homme vous ignore. Venez, venez, venez. Venez, divin Messie, nous rendre espoir et nous sauver. Vous êtes notre vie. Venez, venez, venez. À Bethléem, les cieux chantaient que le meilleur de vos bienfaits, c'était le nom de votre Père. Le monde la dédaigne, car tous les cœurs sont divisés, qu'arrive votre règne. Venez, venez, venez. Oh, come, divine Messiah, the world in silence waits the day when hope shall sing its triumph and sadness flee away. Sweet Savior, haste, come, come to earth, dispel the night and show thy face, and bid us hail the dawn of grace. O come, divine Messiah, the world in silence waits the day when hope shall sing its triumph and sadness flee away.
On s'en va presque la moitié d'un siècle dans le passé, dans les années 1970. Notre famille avait grandi à 6 enfants avec la naissance de notre Monique. Avec les 6 enfants, on a déménagé à Saunieville, en Nouvelle-Écosse, afin que Reg puisse étudier en français. In August 1977, we moved to Nova Scotia, where Reg was going to study French at l'Université Sainte-Anne. We took along only the necessities: 6 children, 4 bicycles, 1 trike, and 1 stroller. We took the toys, records, and our little record player. And we took along our piano, believe it or not. The heaviest thing that there is. David Wedge moved us. And we also took the doghouse. So in our small collection of records, we had one that we had was one of Stomping Tom's, which Angela really loved. She loved it and played it many times until it intentionally got broken. We learned later that David had it and he would not listen to it one more time. Now, David had a lot of determination. When he was little, about 5, I guess, he had to have an adenoids operation. And I bought him a little doodle pad and markers to keep him busy while waiting. I heard afterwards that the nurses in the OR tried to remove that doodle pad from his hands. And the more they pulled, the harder the grip. He was very determined. He was even asleep under anesthetic. He wasn't giving it up. So when he decided to do something, it was quietly done. So he decided that he wouldn't listen to Stomping Tom's Christmas Angel anymore. To this day, he feels very badly. So he wants us to ask him to sing it every year.
I learned one thing is that those old records, maybe the new ones too, if you get them nice and cold, they shatter. One little tap of the hammer. I get you on my mind every year at Christmas time, as I bid every bough, branch, and limb. But I don't want to see an angel on the tree till you're back in my arms once again. Christmas angel, I have named you since the day we first trimmed the Christmas tree. And I called it my love, and I placed up above a little angel where I wanted you to be. Now I get you on my mind every year at Christmas time, as I trim every bough, branch, and limb. But I don't want to see an angel on the tree till you're back in my arms once again. Christmas angel, I have named you for this Christmas tree I'm holding in my heart. And I'm saving a spot for your love on the top. Christmas angel, even though we're far apart. Will I get you on my mind every year at Christmas time, as I trim every bough, branch, and limb. But I don't want to see on the tree till you're back in my arms once again. Well, I get you on my mind every year at Christmas time, as I trim every bough, branch, and limb. But I don't want to see an angel on the tree till you're back in my arms once again. Till you're back in my arms once again.
cadeau une musique à bouche. With his first harmonica, 79 cents, Robert spent hours learning and playing. He pretended to play it while it was still in a box and wrapped under the Christmas tree. Christmas night, he was playing a lot of carols. Et il a joué beaucoup depuis cela.
It's my turn to do something? Well, malheureusement. Well, anyway, this song is like another one of those negative connotations. Year after year, they ask me to sing this one, but it's because when I was in about grade 3, I was playing for my class at St. Louis Elementary, and I had stage fright, and I froze up, and I couldn't play it properly. Probably I got lazy, and I didn't know how to recover by reading the music. But anyway, it's "Angels We Have Heard on High."
Les anges dans nos campagnes ont entendu l'hymne des cieux et l'écho de nos montagnes redit ce chant mélodieux. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Sacré triomphant. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Ils annoncent la naissance du libérateur d'Israël et plein de reconnaissance, chantant ce jour solennel. Gloria in excelsis Deo.
During our year in Nova Scotia, Reg did a lot of singing, especially with La Chorale de la Baie Sainte-Marie. He had a lovely singing voice, and the choir director chose him to do solo parts in Mary's Boy Child. Au cours des années, les garçons ont chanté ce chant avec leur père, et ils vont le faire toujours aujourd'hui. You probably noticed we're missing Michael. He quit family. He thought we were doing the show tonight, so he had booked another show this afternoon, so he ended up double booked. So we really miss him, but it gave me a chance to be in the concert. Next year I might even be up there. So it's Mary's Boy Child, which was another one of our favorites.
Long time ago in Bethlehem, oh the Holy Bible say, Mary, boy child Jesus Christ, was born on new shining star, and heard a choir from heaven sing. The music seemed to come from afar. Hark now, hear the angels sing, new king's born today, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Hark now, hear the angels sing, new king's born today, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Now back is born, Mary came to Bethlehem that night. They found no place to bear the child, not a single room was in sight. By and by they found a little nook in a stable all forlorn, and in a manger cold and dark, Mary's little boy child was born. Trumpets sound and angels sing, listen to what they say, that man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Hark now, hear the angels sing, new king's born today, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Hark now, hear the angels sing, new king's born today, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day.
We'll move to 1984. Le temps passa très vite. Michael était déjà parti à l'université en Alberta et Robert se préparait pour partir à l'automne. So Robert, as he was preparing for university, il voulait s'assurer que David pourrait se débrouiller sans lui. Robert thought that when he'd leave, David would be very
87.
lonely.
87. 87.
87.
Il partait pour sa deuxième année.
Okay, so anyway, Michael was gone to university, Robert was preparing to leave, and he thought David would be very lonely without him. So Robert decided to apply for an exchange student who would come live with us for a year and replace Robert. This is only unusual because, well, let's hear the details from the horse's mouth.
Well, at first I thought I was going to be getting a girl from Sweden for sure. But it turns out that David was saying, yeah, well, you know, just check that thing that's on the clipping on the newspaper. He was out painting houses in Alberta. So I said, yeah, okay, there's an exchange thing. And so I made an appointment with the person who was responsible. And so then there was a small committee. It was my brother Michael, possibly was getting a ride somewhere. And then myself and our younger brother Jean-Paul, who was 12 at the time. So we all arrived at this meeting with the people at Summerside, and they went through all the details, and we looked through the folder, and then we chose a guy. He played some piano, and he looked like he was about 6'5", and he could play basketball. So that sounded good, you know. And then as we were leaving, and I said, well, I guess the next step would be, I suppose I should talk to my parents about it, right? And that was the beginning of our friendship and our brotherhood with our good friend Jose Luis.
Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I want to wish you a Merry of my heart. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. On veut vous souhaiter un joyeux Noël. On veut vous souhaiter un joyeux Noël. On veut vous souhaiter un joyeux Noël du fond de nos cœurs. On veut vous souhaiter un joyeux Noël. On veut vous souhaiter un joyeux Noël. On veut vous souhaiter un joyeux Noël du fond de nos cœurs.
Actually, the year Jose was here, the big song that year was La Bamba. So I thought it was great. I was in grade 5, and he taught me all the words in Spanish. So yeah, I don't remember.
Au cours des années, nous avons accueilli beaucoup de gens de plusieurs nationalités et religions. On a eu des Africains, des Australiens, des Américains et bien sûr des Canadiens de côte à côte. Among the many varied people that we hosted, we had a young one for Christmas one year. We had a young Jewish man, Jerome. Jerome loved our midnight mass. During those few days that he was there, Reg was cooking up some bacon one morning, and Robert whispered to Reg, Jerome doesn't eat bacon. Oh, Reg says, will you have a slice of ham instead? You know, they say fact is stranger than fiction. Then came the chapter of the borders and the rumors at our house. Non, je pourrais faire toute la narration en français, mais il y a beaucoup de mots qui ne comprennent pas, donc je vais faire beaucoup d'anglais. Yeah, we had started, we didn't ever think of having borders or rumors. But this came about one day when a guy arrived at our door. I could tell he was from Quebec, and he had come to work at St. Louis Elementary School. So he had lost the address of where he was supposed to go, but he knew it was St. Louis School. So he went to St. Louis and he went to Francochet's. And then he went in and he said, I am looking for a Monique whose last name starts with P and is English. Oh, one of the good Samaritans at Frankie said, follow me, I'm going out right by. So he took this fellow to our place. But the guy should have been at Monique Doucette Pittman's house, so he was in the wrong house. As it turned out, he stayed for a year, or I guess about half a year. So, veut ou veut pas, on a eu des personnes qui ont passionné chez nous, et il y en a eu beaucoup après lui. En gros, on les a bien appréciés.
Les peuples de tous
Although most of you probably know these people, on the far side is Robert, the second oldest of the family. Michael's not here. Then there's Jean-Paul, the youngest of the boys, and David, the Christmas angel boy.
It's our angel.
Our angel. And then there's Angela.
She's actually our angel.
And Monique behind me here. And back, doing the backup, we have Andy Doucette and Shane Pendergast. Shane is on bass and he's Michael's son, so he's kind of filling in for his dad today.
Shane drove up with me today. I said I only had one kid with me today, and he was very well behaved.
So there is hope. Souvent le dimanche au soir, les enfants téléphonaient de là où il était, partout des universités. Et ils téléphonaient, puis souvent ils demandaient de l'argent. On ne parlait pas longtemps parce qu'en ce temps-là, il n'y avait pas de plan pour les appels interurbains. So, Sunday night, the phone would ring, and it was one of the kids from university somewhere, and they were calling home. Often I thought we shouldn't answer because often they were looking for a few dollars. I remember really well one of these calls from Robert, and he said, "It's Robert's night. We're highlighting Robert."
Isn't it nice that Michael's not here?
Finally, Robert gets the limelight.
That's his turn.
Well, anyway, Robert was interesting, so he did a lot of stuff, and so we have a lot to tell.
It's still interesting.
This particular call, he said, you know, he was kind of disgruntled. He said, I'm nearly 19, and I haven't been to Europe yet. I said, Robert, I'm nearly 42, and I haven't gone yet. But my credit card went twice before I had a chance to go with it.
Chantons tous son avènement.
Depuis plus de 4000 ans, nous le promène les prophètes. Depuis plus de 4000 ans, nous attendions ce temps. Il est né le divin enfant, joué au bois de son aiguisette. Il est né le divin enfant, chantons tous son avènement. Ah, qu'il est beau, qu'il est charmant, ah, que ses grâces sont parfaites. Il est doux, ce divin enfant. Il est né le divin enfant, joué au bois de son aiguisette. Il est né le divin enfant, chantons tous son avènement. Il est né le divin enfant, joué au bois de son aiguisette. Il est né le divin enfant, chantons tous son avènement. Une étable sur le chemin, un peu de paille à sa couchette. Une étable sur le chemin, pour un Dieu que l'apercevant. Il est né le divin enfant, joué au bois de son aiguisette. Il est né le divin enfant, chantons tous son avènement.
Alors, on est sûr d'apprendre beaucoup de choses et surtout de rencontrer une gamme de gens. Traveling here and there, hither and yon, our crowd learned new songs, and they would come home and sing songs from folks from away, things they had learned. And among one of the popular ones at our home were songs of Gordon Lightfoot.
We just like Gordon Lightfoot because it was one of Andy's favorites.
Lamp is burning low upon my tabletop. The snow is softly falling. The air is still in the silence of my room. I hear your voice softly calling. If I could only have you near to breathe a sigh or two, I would be happy just to hold the hand I love upon this winter's night with you. The smoke is rising in the shadows overhead. My glass is almost empty. I read again between the lines upon each page the words of love that you sent me. If I could know within my heart that you were lonely too, I would be happy just to hold the hand I love upon this winter's night with you. Fire is burning out, my lamp is growing dim. The shades of night are lifting. The morning light steals across my window pane, where webs of snow are drifting. If I could only have you near to breathe a sigh or two, I would be happy just to hold the hand I love upon this winter's night with you, and to be once again with you. We got the young Gordon Lightfoot back there and the guitar on that one. That's Shane. Young Gordy.
They switched. Well, Noël, c'est le temps de la magie pour les enfants. Je me souviens quand on plaçait nos 6 enfants dans une ligne pour les faire chanter et jouer pour l'accompagner, pour la parenter. So today we're going to line up some of the grandchildren to sing a song for you. We have they'll sing, and then Patrick, I guess they're somewhere, hopefully. Patrick, who's he's still 6, he hasn't turned 7 yet. He started a few weeks ago learning to play the fiddle. So he said to me, when I play the concert, so I figured, well, we're going to give him his spot. He's just starting though. So if we can have some grandchildren, we'll listen to them, and then we'll have a little fiddle. So here we have Colin over on the far side, Jean-Paul's son. Then there's Clara, who's Andy and Monique, Jean-Paul and Tanya. And then there's Reggie, who's David and Sarah's son. After that, we have Lucy. Lucy is Andy and Monique's. And Patrick is the little one, Andy and Monique's. And on this side is Felix, who's David and Sarah's. Simon is on the far... I couldn't see Simon. Simon's on the far side. He's a teenager now. So we're dealing with a whole new chapter. And before we know it, they'll be quiet in the car like Shane was today, coming down with Robert. They have a few years left to be children. Actually, it says right in Scripture, unless you become like a small child, you will not see the face of God. There they are. Okay. Oh, just a minute. Merci les enfants. Maintenant, Patrick va jouer ce petit morceau avec son frère Simon. Come on, but watch for a couple of years from now.
This is our youngest, Patrick, and he's going to be 7 in 2 days. And he just narrowly missed sharing a birthday with his other Mamie, Kathy, who's back on the sound with Victor, so Kathy's birthday's tomorrow.
Simon va jouer un autre en attendant. Merci, Simon. So in keeping with the magical time of year for children, let's listen to A Children's Winter. We have another, Hannah is joining us. It's a granddaughter of the little bit older than the other bunch.
Well, the story I always told, I guess, before I sang this song was the year that the children, I was playing outside with them, and I took the time. There was snow coming down, there were lots of snow piles around. Hannah was the youngest then, and she was probably about 3 or 4. And I started studying the snowflakes to show the girls that they were all different shapes and sizes and so on. And anyway, so we were examining them, and then I suppose we went in and had hot chocolate, and then there was a knock at the door, and it was a neighbor down the road who had found Hannah. She was walking by with the sled. So I guess I was so intrigued and amazed myself by these snowflakes that I got caught up in the moment and I lost the child. So anyway, having said all that, we invite Hannah out as much as we can to sing with us. She'll be joining us for a few songs.
So she's not escaping down the road?
We know where she is. She's safe. She's okay.
So anyway, it's great that she is not still out roaming. Yes.
Hannah, every time something had happened at the house, they'd say, Hannah, who did that? And she'd look and she'd say, how peck me no?
But it actually was usually her. There's hope for everyone.
Okay, we're glad you're here, Hannah.
I turned out okay. As a mother of a very active child right now, I feel a lot of hope in my heart. I think of Hannah.
A winter snow is a child's delight as it brightens up a winter's night and coats the earth a cherry white as it softly drifts upon it. Smiling faces watch the ground as the snow is falling all around, and through the glass there comes no sound as the snowflakes melt upon it. Snowman, snow house, hey, play with me, shake the snow down
not normal, whatever normal means, because we always like to either be storm stayed somewhere during a storm or have somebody storm stayed at our house.
Or just driving in a storm.
This was one of those bad stormy nights with lots of snow blowing and falling. The wind was howling. It was that kind of night that you hope that everybody was safe at home or at least safe indoors. Suddenly, we heard a knock at the door. Il y avait des voyageurs qui voulaient absolument se rendre malgré les avertissements de ne pas être sur la route. The knock came again, a little bit louder this time. Let them in, someone. Louise and Johnny, la voix de la région évangéline, je parle les bouts dans ton père, qu'est-ce que vous faites ici?
C'est juste un petit kilomètre, a liquor store.
Can you imagine the excitement of this crowd when they saw that Louise and Johnny were not carrying suitcases, they were carrying musical instruments.
Ça, c'est de ta chance. On allait juste prendre un break.
Somebody can take Louise's coat, and they're going to give them some warm instruments because their instruments were pretty chilly, hauling them through that storm.
I'm gonna go back and make some pancakes.
I remember in real life one stormy night when 7 people were storm stayed at our house, and that's exactly what it wasn't pancakes, but Reg made the hot chocolate. And we gave them everything we had to eat, biscuits and bread and everything. 7 of them stayed overnight. And the next morning they shoveled from the store right to the road. We didn't need to have anybody come blow the lane. They shoveled it all out. It was kind of a nice night.
Yeah, they wanted to get out of there early in the morning. But it wasn't as exciting as the night that another fella, he hit the drift in front of our house and he couldn't get through and he couldn't get out. So we just revved the motor until it blew up. We had a big fire right in front of the house. And we didn't invite him in.
OK, bienvenue à nos visiteurs. J'espère que vous n'êtes pas trop frette, là. Ça a réchauffé? OK, ah oui.
Là, ça swing, ça. Youhou!
Allez-vous que je chante une chanson de Noël, là?
Non, ouais, ça.
On va voir comment ça va travailler. C'est pas souvent qu'on chante des chansons de Noël. Ça arrive rien qu'une fois par an.
You're covering your nice curls, John. He came in with all his curls. I said, that's the hair that my brothers used to have.
Que c'est frette!
They can't. They all have hair like that.
Connaissez-vous Au royaume du bonhomme d'hiver? Ouais, je fais ça là. Subtil, ouais. Ça va rester, c'est ça. Écoutez les clochettes du joyeux temps des fêtes, annonçant la joie dans chacun qui bat au royaume du bonhomme d'hiver. Sous la neige qui tombe, le traîneau vagabonde se monte tout autour de chansons d'amour au royaume du bonhomme d'hiver. Le monarque sourit sur la place, son chapeau, sa canne et son foulard. Il nous sortir de ton menace, ne voyez-vous donc pas qu'il est dans? Il vivrait tout de même, près du feu, je l'amène. C'est notre tour des chansons d'amour au royaume du bonhomme d'hiver. Sur la place, son chapeau, sa canne et son foulard. Il nous dit à ton menace, ne voyez-vous donc pas qu'il est tard? Il vivrait tout de même, près du feu, je l'amène. Annonçons la joie dans chaque heure qui bat au royaume du bonhomme d'hiver. Annonce la joie dans chaque corps qui bat au royaume du bonhomme d'hiver. Merci beaucoup.
Mais on pourrait peut-être jouer un autre conduire, hein? Ouais. Mais c'est le gênez-vous là. Quand j'en ai plus à danser, là, gênez-vous pas. C'est ça qui inquiète une party.
Let's move the furniture back. So do a little dance.
Peut-être aller se rouler dans la neige. C'est là que j'ai eu les girls de... Je peux-tu chanter une autre chanson? Ah ouais. Connaissez-vous Buck Owens? Oh ouais. Je faisais Buck Owens de quoi différent.
Juste en attendant, Johnny, il y a quelqu'un qui m'a dit que la charrue a passé puis le chemin est nettoyé, ça fait après la chanson. Vous allez en belle aller vous promener ce que vous alliez. Merci d'avoir été ici à Stormstead, ici là, et puis vous viendrez à Noël après la messe de minuit. OK? Vous viendrez après la messe de minuit. Après cette chanson-ci, on va faire un petit break.
On va parler about the turkey. It's gonna be a big fat turkey. Gonna be gravy and dressing. Gonna be chicken and dumplings. Christmas time's coming. There's gonna be some sweet sweets. It's meat, peach, and pumpkin. Ain't that gonna be something? Christmas time's a coming. Oh, there's gonna be sleigh Everybody's gonna go. We'll sing Christmas carols as we ride through the snow. We're gonna call up the neighbors, tell them to come running. Ain't that gonna be something? Christmas time's coming. Well, there's gonna be a sleigh ride. Everybody's gonna go. We'll sing Christmas carols as we ride through the snow. We're gonna call up the neighbors, tell them to come running. Ain't that gonna be something? Christmas time's a coming. Ain't that gonna be something? Christmas time is here. That's so good. Thank you. That's what I really do.
Vad bra, Nils.